I'm just so happy I've started reading this. Oh, stop. Oh, it's just such a cool thing in the film, and then to be able to read it, yeah, it's one of my favourite parts. Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's video. As you've seen from the title of this week's video, I'm going to be reading The Hunger Games for the first time. I know, I am still one of the few people, or it feels like one of the few people, that hasn't read The Hunger Games yet, and it feels like a crime. Growing up, I loved The Hunger Games. I was more of a movie watcher than a reader. I actually can't even think of how many times I've rewatched the films. I love the films so much. And because Sunrise on the Reaping's recently come out, and that's going to be turned into a movie soon, I thought, I need to read the books. It's time I read the books, and I want to be a part of the people that have read the series. I have already started reading The Hunger Games. I started reading it over the weekend. I've read to chapter 5, so I'm not too far into it yet. This is going to be a reading vlog throughout the week, so I'm going to be filming my whole experience while reading this book, and I'm going to be doing a video for each book as well. So it's going to be like a little mini series on my YouTube channel. I'm really excited because I've not done a reading vlog for ages, and I thought a reading vlog would be perfect for this. And also my friend Victoria actually suggested it as well, so thanks Victoria. But I do just want to note, because I am doing a reading vlog of all of these books, and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and feelings and what's happened, there will be spoilers in these videos. So if you haven't read the books or watched the films yet, just be aware that these videos are going to contain spoilers. But once I do get to Sunrise on the Reaping, that video will remain spoiler free. It's a recent book that's come out and not everyone's read it yet. One book that I am really excited to get to is Catching Fire though, because that's my favourite movie, and it also seems to be a firm favourite across everyone that's read the series. Everyone says that Catching Fire is a favourite, so I'm really excited to get to that one. But because I've already read to chapter 5, I think it's time for a little reading update, thoughts so far, what's happened, if anything differs from the film. So let's sit down, let's get comfy, and we'll do my first little reading update for The Hunger Games. I want to start off by saying the writing, the flow, and the pace of this book is amazing. It's so easy to follow. It's not like I didn't expect that because it is a YA, but it's just so well written. I am loving Suzanne's writing style in this. It's just so easy to follow, and I feel like pages are it's just flowing. It's a page turner. It's just flowing so nicely. I knew this would be the case, but this book is including a lot more detail than what's shown in the film. It's only minor details. It's not stuff that takes away from the plot. But things like Katniss's dad and that he taught her how to hunt is one thing that I really liked a bit more detail on, and how it affected her mum. There's the world building as well, so how Panem was created from North America, the 12 districts, the uprising, how Katniss is basically the sole provider for her family since her dad passed away, and then Gale helping her. And the book starts out with it being Reaping Day, so everyone's getting ready for Reaping Day. Gale in this, there's a lot more to him than the film. Gale in the film, good looking, but boring, whereas in this we do see a little bit more of it. The way District 12 is created in the book and the atmosphere is quite harrowing as well. District 12 is a mining district, so you can imagine the state of the district and how everyone kind of looks, what they're wearing. It feels incredibly grubby and dirty, and one thing that is really prominent and quite upsetting to read is the horrible state of starvation that the district is in. So yeah, to provide for her family, Katniss is leaving the district and going into the woods, which is against the law. She's risking her own life doing that, but what can you do when your family's starving? I just want to say as well, as a big movie nerd growing up and now reading the books, I honestly believe that this series is one of the best book to movie adaptations ever. The movie and how this has started off, it's pretty pinpoint perfect. There's a few little minor things that they've left out, but you wouldn't really notice and they don't really matter because they're not important to the plot. This is literally spot on. Like, everything I'm reading right now is exactly the same as the film. We're also getting Peter flashbacks as well, so we're getting a bit more detail into Peter and the whole bread situation. And I've read to the point where they are about to arrive at the capital, so Peter and Katniss have both been chosen as tributes. I'm just so happy I've started reading this. I'm so happy I've started reading this. It's been a series that I've wanted to pick up for so long. I'm so glad that I have. And I think, to be honest, with the way that this is going, I am going to predict right now that the Hunger Games series is going to be one of my favourite book series. The Hunger Games is one of my favourite movie franchises in the world. I was obsessed with it growing up. So yeah, I'm going to leave that little reading update there now. I'm going to do some reading tonight, and then I'll come back at some point to do a reading update. I'm back with an update. Last night I read from chapter 5 to chapter 9, and guys, I am loving this so much. Even though I've not read these books before, it feels so nostalgic because of the films, watching them as a teenager and then recently rewatching all of the films and then to now read the book. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. So chapter 5 started out where they were all on the chariots riding down through to the city circle. We've met Cinna and Patricia, which is Katniss and Peter's stylists, and they've created the girl on fire, and that's one of my favorite parts in the film is when they're riding down on the chariots. Their outfits catch fire, and it's just such a cool thing in the film, and then to be able to read it and see it all like happening in the book was just, yeah, it's one of my favorite parts. And then I've just finished on chapter 9, so they've started the training, and Peter, he's basically bigging Katniss up about her like skills with a bow and arrow and stuff, and Katniss is just taking it all the wrong way. He's just being so sweet, and I was very much a Peter girly with the films. I had a massive crush on him. I am loving Peter in this. We've also had some flashbacks of Gale as well, and how Katniss and Gale's friendship formed originally. In the film, I just thought he was really boring. He was good looking, but boring. In this, we get a bit more of him, we get a bit more detail about their friendship, which I kind of like. But yeah, they've started the training, and also they've noticed Rue watching them, and I am not ready for that heartbreak, and I know what's going to happen, and I am not ready for that quite yet. So when she popped up in this whilst they were training, I was like, oh my god, not emotionally ready for that. Also, another one of my favourite things at the start of the Hunger Games is when they all have to go through one by one and show the game makers their like best skill. And obviously Katniss goes in with her bow and arrow, and they're all not paying attention to her. They're all kind of talking amongst themselves. They're too bothered about the roast hog that's cooking, and she basically sees red, shoots an arrow at the apple in the pig's mouth, and just shocks everyone. And that's always been my favourite part of the film. It was just so cool to watch. And yeah, she does exactly the same in the book. And I was like, yes, yes, you show him. I love her so much. I think she's so bloody cool. That's my little update. I'm going to go away and do some reading. I'm hoping to read quite a few more chapters today. So we're going to go away, do some reading together, and we'll do a little bit of update as we go along. Katniss is fuming at the moment. So Peter's just asked to be coached separately for TV interviews, and she's not happy about it. She feels so betrayed right now. I have a thing for the nickname Sweetheart. Haymitch is just called a sweetheart, and knowing what their relationship is like further on from watching the films, I do love Haymitch. He's one of my favourites. He's clearly got quite a lot of like trauma, but I do love Haymitch. So we've got to the end of the TV interview, and Caesar Flickerman asks Peter if there's a girl back home, and he turns around and says, no, because she came here with me. I loved that part in the film, and obviously Katniss, she's going to kick off about it. So I've hit part 2 now. He's so cute. I just love that part. I love it. I loved it in the film, and I love it in the book. The Star-Crossed Lovers of District 12. Oh, I just wish I read these when I was a teenager. I really do, because I would have been obsessing over this so badly. I am now, but I can see why everyone do rereads of this all the time. I know I've said it, but I love Peter so much more in this. He's got so much more of a personality in this compared to the film, so you can really see how much they kind of cut out of his script and focused more on Katniss. I also really love the part where they're both talking on the roof before the games start, and Peter mentions how he really wants to die as himself and not a monster that they make him into. And I just thought, I've read up to page 184, so I am at chapter 14. The Hunger Games have started and things are going down. So the Hunger Games is set in the forest, which obviously suits Katniss perfectly. Some of the tributes are now working together. Katniss has noticed that Peter's with them, so she's now thinking that he's helping them find her. And whilst Katniss has been on her own, she's had to run away from this fire. She's also been poisoned and a fireball has really damaged her thigh, so she's in a lot of pain. And two tributes have just found her. I think they're from District 1 and District 2, and she's had to go up a tree to basically get away from them. And up the tree she's found Rue hiding in one as well. So I'm at chapter 14 and she's found Rue, and I now know the emotional damage that I'm about to enter. I'm going to come back later. I'm going to mentally prepare myself now for the chapters ahead. You might be wondering why I'm in my car. Well, I've come with my partner Jack to the driving range. He wants to hit some balls for a bit at the driving range. I thought I'll drive us and I'll come and do some reading in my car for a bit, because I actually really do like reading in my car and it's a nice change of scenery as well. I also didn't get any reading done last night because I was at my nana's for tea. My mum's come over to see us for the week, so I had some family time last night. So I've been saving reading this because I know the chapters I'm about to start reading and I know they're going to be emotional, so I wanted to save them. So I brought my headphones with me. I've brought my favourite sweets as well as a snack. I'm obsessed with these sweets at the moment. They're Sour Patch Kids, but strawberry ones. They're so good. They're so Moorish. I've just read the part where Katniss saws down the Tracker Jacker nest. Ugh. Wasps are an insect that I just can't bear to be around. They're so scary. This whole scene in the film freaked me out so badly. I'm currently at the part where Katniss and Rue are getting to know each other. They're both foraging together and they're planning to destroy food and supplies that are at the base camp of the other tributes that are all working together. Rue is it just shows how evil the capital is for making children like Rue have to compete in the Hunger Games. She's so sweet and innocent and she just does not deserve to be in this at all. It makes me so angry. They're currently talking about what Rue loves the most, and it's music. And she's got mockingjays in her district as well. And she's got some mockingjays that are a special friend, and that's why she likes Katniss's pin. Oh, stop. Katniss has just fired an arrow at the apples, which has caused an explosion. Again, just showing off how cool Katniss is and how amazing she is with a bow and arrow. So, I didn't realise there's like a whole day between the explosion. Am I reading this right? Yeah. There's a whole day between the explosion from the apples to then finding Rue. I didn't know that. In the film, it's like it all happened in the same day. I'm at the part where Rue asks Katniss to start singing to her. I never knew why she asks her to in the film, but now reading this, I know why, and it's because she loves music. I'm back. I've had my tea. I've washed my face, I've done my skincare. I am feeling like I might finish this tonight. I really want to finish it tonight, but if I don't finish it tonight, that's okay. I want to at least read most of this tonight. I've reserved Catching Fire at Waterstones. But yeah, I'm ready to get cozy and read for the rest of the evening. I've got my biscuit brew, so let's see how much I can get read tonight. I have now reached part 3. Now that I've reached part 3, I think I'm going to go to bed, get comfy, and do the rest of my reading in bed. I just want to be cozy tonight. Peter is being a little flirt in this book. What's next, Dr. Everdeen? How about that kiss? I've just got to chapter 23, so I'm at page 303, which means I've got 70 pages left. 70 pages left before I finish the Hunger Games. I thought we'd have a little bit of a debrief because I've been reading off camera for a while because I've just been in the zone. So for the last couple of chapters, Katniss and Peter have been in the cave. Peter has been severely injured. Katniss has been looking after him, and then Katniss went to go and retrieve the backpacks that were left for them all. She got seriously injured, which meant Peter needed to look after Katniss. Guys, honestly, Peter in this book, why did he get so much cut out in the film? I feel like the flirting, the little comments, the way that he's looking after her, the like romance that's coming through in chapter 22 is so beautiful, and it's so pure and tender and caring from Peter. And I feel like Katniss is starting to question like maybe his feelings are actually real. Obviously we all know that they are. It's just so bloody cute. It's so cute. And now Katniss has been the one to instigate a kiss. But yeah, and then after that they've received a package from Haymitch. And chapter 22 where it says, "In my head I can hear Haymitch's smug, if slightly exasperated words. Yes, that's what I'm looking for, sweetheart." I'm 70 pages away from finishing reading The Hunger Games for the first time. Let's finish it. So Katniss and Peter have just got on top of, I don't even know how you pronounce it to be honest, cornucopia? They've just got on top of there because the mutts are after them. But Katniss has just realised that the mutts are actually the other tributes that have died. I never picked up on that in the film. Is it a thing in the film or is it just a thing in the book? Because I never knew that, and that's freaky. The mutts have just got their eyes or something bizarre like that, but that's something I never knew. Creepy. I've finished The Hunger Games. I've finished reading The Hunger Games for the first time. I absolutely loved this. I loved it. And that cliffhanger, if I'd have read that as a teenager and when these books came out and had to wait for the second book, that is such a good cliffhanger. Just as good as the film, if not better. That was amazing. This is honestly one of my favourite books, and I'm so happy I can finally say I've read The Hunger Games. I'm going to come back tomorrow morning and do more of a summary of my thoughts and feelings for this. But yeah, I finished it. I stayed up very late reading last night, but I finished The Hunger Games and I've loved my experience reading this book. The book ends on a very good cliffhanger where Katniss and Peter have fallen out, but they've arrived back at District 12 and they're again putting on a show for the cameras, and it's quite clear to Katniss that she's losing Peter. I knew their relationship was complex from the films, but reading it in the book, it feels somehow so much more complex because of the detail that we get to their relationship. I love Peter and I've always rooted for Katniss and Peter more than Katniss and Gale. But on the other hand, I can also understand Katniss's point of view. For Peter, you can really tell that his love for Katniss is real. But Katniss is forced into this romance and she's forced into it by the Capitol. So of course it's going to be different for her. Of course she's going to rebel against what they're wanting her to do. But you can tell it's conflicting for her as well because she can see that she does genuinely care about Peter. I just love this series so much. I love it so much and I'm so excited to get to Catching Fire. I have reserved it at my local Waterstones, so I'm going to go and collect it tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for coming along this journey with me, for reading The Hunger Games for the first time. I can't believe I'm reading The Hunger Games for the first time at the age of 25, but I've loved it. I've loved this experience. And I've also been thinking to finish off each of these videos, I'm going to create a spread in my journal for each of the Hunger Games books. So to end this video, I'm going to create a journal spread for the Hunger Games, just to end this video off with a bit of a cozy creative vibe. This book is a 5 stars. And any 5-star book always gets a place in my reading journal. So we're going to do that now, but I just want to do all my thank yous before this video ends. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon with a reading vlog for Catching Fire. I hope you're having a lovely afternoon or evening wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!